Yeah, I totally agree with you, Guns Akimbo, especially with like Hydralisks, where the strength of Hydralisks is how many of them you can get. So when you have so many of a unit, getting the attack upgrade
Yeah,
it has an exponential effect
yeah,
where you get a little bonus for each of those like swarm of Hydralisks. So it's really a bonus. Whereas for example, by comparison, if I have a small army of I don't know, immortals, it's a bad choice because immortals get so much per upgrade. But and I upgrade, I only have 3 immortals. I'm only getting that bonus for 3 units.
yeah, exactly.
Whereas with Hydralisks, you get it for what, like 20, 40
Exactly,
units.
and that's that's the one thing that I think keeps true with Zerg is you have usually a bunch of you have a core unit that you're using for each game, and I'd like here too where again this is a little bit late. I feel like everything's a little bit late on Supreme's end, but he's still doing a great job of keeping the game together, putting down 2 creep tumors to start expanding heavily across the map. Right now he especially is in full the same mentality. Let's go macro mode. So yeah.
Cool.
I also like the spine crawler is. This spine crawler is unique placement to me. I've never seen it placed here, but looking at it here, I realize how good that can be because you're going to catch the units coming down from here. You just have, there's always a chance they can walk around, so that's something to be careful of. But I like how it will catch most units coming down, and if they try to sneak by up into the main, it's still going to cover just about up to here.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good place also to like to reinforce your army to kind of to defend those two places.
So we have a bunch of Hydras going up to the Zelnaga. I guess he's just waiting for his moment to shine.
So I am getting my thermal lances upgrade and getting some colossuses, and our armies are I'm actually pulled ahead. He was ahead of me in army for a while, and I'm actually pulling ahead of him now just based on the mentality of just constant production from warp gates. You can see now I have like a pretty big army of zealot and sentries, and a bunch of colossuses on the way. Really, whenever I see somebody focusing on Hydralisks, even with roaches, in my mind is to get colossuses as fast as I can.
Okay.
But also to keep an eye out for Spire, because Spire just wrecks colossuses. But here you see him actually. I'll let you talk about this because you're the Zergy.
This is something that I've been doing a lot more as Zerg, and I've been seeing a little bit more as Zerg of. People are saying screw the Nidus Canals a little bit. It has its uses. I'm not bashing it. I still like it. I still think it's very good. But just investing in having Overlord carry upgrade.
Yeah.
There's so many more options to just decide last second to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna drop. And I feel like it's almost a little bit more effective because you don't have to wait for the time of the drop. You don't have to wait for the worm to hatch or be killed.
And I like how
beautiful. Yeah. Hold up. I need to see that again.
I like that too. Even though it was so frustrating at the time.
Perfect timing.
If I had been a little bit more aware of what he was doing, I should have. I actually don't even finish those. I don't cancel those colossuses either. But yeah, it was really, really nice on his part.
Especially because those. I mean, if those colossi came out, this army would just fall so quickly. I mean. You do have he has a lot of Hydras.
Well, actually,
but still, they would have wrecked so much of it so quickly.
I already have 2 colossuses out.
I can't see what's going on here.
But if you
rotate, rotate working for the first time for something.
Yeah, so this attack is really good for him. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself, I have 2 choices that I can either try to come into my base and fight him back, or the choice that I'm going with is pushing towards his
trading bases
base and trying to initiate.
They should make a TV show situation called that, trading bases.
And the reason,
the thing is, with 2 colossi, do you think? I'll pause it so we can talk and not have to feel pressured.
Yeah.
Do you think it might have been this kind of decision is one of those things. It's one of those quick minute decisions of.
This is a really tough decision, right?
Yeah, I think everyone who plays Starcraft has been here of thinking. He's in my base. He's wrecking it. I have a big army.
Yeah.
Are we gonna trade? Are we gonna trade armies right now? Like, is it worth it? Am I gonna die? I mean, you saw this many Hydras. How many Hydras are here? There's
a lot.
34 Hydras.
I could think that I could have
with upgrades
engaged and killed the Hydras. I think I have. What are my upgrades? I don't have any. Wow,
don't have any,
sick.
but you do have 2 colossi.
I have 1 working.
If those two colossi being canceled were huge, I think that is I mean, the timing on that was insane, and I have to almost think that's luck. If that came any later, I think these Hydras would have been pretty much dead with 4 Colossi and all those Zealots. But so
it's still a tough situation to be in because honestly, if you look at my base, like those Hydralisks kill so much so quickly.
Yeah.
It's sort of like this decision of, do I attack him now into his base while he's out of position because he's in my base, or do I attack him in my base? Both of us lose like most of our army, but I lose most of my base, and then I have to try to attack him with half or a third of an army while he's able to macro up again. Plus, I'm looking at like my placement of my warp gates.
okay. Thinking
And
he won't
trying
get
to
that right
imagine
away.
my zealots running in here and funneling into like these 2 little lines towards the Hydralisks.
Yeah.
And then just obliterating them. Which I guess that warp gate placement
It's
is
working against you right
here,
now.
whereas it's good when he comes at my ramp.
Yeah.
In this situation, it's working against me because like you can see the zealots just funneling through there and just getting picked off one by one by the Hydralisks. So with those 2 factors in mind, I think to myself, well, okay, I have my 2 Colossuses, they're out already. I have my huge zealot shield, right? Most of, if not all of, his armies in my base right now and out of position.
And
Plus, I just put down my new Nexus at my 3rd. So I have two other bases, so I'm not going to get eliminated.
Yeah, well, I mean, the hard decision on this is, if it was, you're mined out here, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's not going to hurt you, but it's just there's so much tech, and just with him set to rampage here, it's just, like, there's a thought in the head of, like, can you really rebuild? I mean, really, it's not that much tech, I guess. It's your Forge, your Cyber Core. But this Forge has a research going. I want to see
It's
if that
almost
finishes.
done. I don't know if it does. I think maybe it does.
Let's see.
I hope
Let's
it does.
see.
No, it's
Let's
not going
see.
to. That
Come on,
takes so long
come
to
on,
finish.
come
I
on,
should have
come
canceled
on,
that.
Come on.
No, it's not going to finish.
See, that hurts.
See, but I'm actually happy that one thing I want to note also is that I put some of my tech buildings at my natural. Like I put my Twilight Council at my natural above my 2nd assimilator. So that's actually is going to finish the leg up speed upgrade, which is going to become important as this game goes on.
Now, do you like that idea of spreading out tech buildings?
As long as it's safe. I see a
Well,
lot.
actually, the good thing about this, which I didn't even notice when before looking at this area, was it creates a choke for these cannons.
Yeah.
Was that your intention, or that just kind of worked out?
It was part of it, but also I was thinking that was part of it, but also I was trying to think like that it was a less likely place to get scouted, which isn't so important, but always every little bit helps.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you just see like how quickly the Hydralisks are able to just kill everything.
Yeah.
And I actually was surprised how quickly they were able to kill everything. I was thinking in my head that my base would at least act as a buffer, like until I was in his base.
Yeah.
But I'm not even.
But with +1 upgrades and this many Hydras with nothing to distract them.
Yeah.
I mean, that they just wreck through, and his general armory composition of just a few roaches to absorb some additional damage with the Hydras.
I really think that if I attacked into my
always
base,
effective.
I would have been out of position to such an extent.
Yeah, I don't know if you could have gotten all this through.
Yeah.
But right now, here is your counter push.
Whereas now I'm gonna have I'm gonna end up having pretty good positioning here. And
I like that. Did you do that on purpose, or you said attack move?
Yeah,
on?
you have to target those specifically.
Okay, really?
Yeah. I think so. Maybe that's a lie. But I did do that specifically.
So I like this with the all these
Bubbles.
Guardian shields coming down, just to nullify that attack. But not that it's gonna do much, But every unit counts at this point in the game.
See, and I don't think I had scouted his gold mineral expansion yet. So in my mind.
In your mind, you're about to take out his only other source of income.
I'm taking out a source of income. I have all those cannons at my natural, which is going to slow him somewhat. So I'll be mining and he won't be, is sort of what I'm thinking.
Here, we're going to play here to see what happens, and we'll rewind a little bit to see the next phase.
Yeah.
Actually, I can switch back and forth.
Yeah. Especially since we had to slow down so you guys can see everything.
Yeah. But, I mean, I hate dealing with Colossi when you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing ever.
And you actually see that he does throw down a Spire, and he does get some mutes out, which is a good way to deal with those Colossuses, but I do have a lot of sentries already. He's getting 9 mutes right now.
Yeah, this base is done. So you traded bases, but he still has all his tech, whereas you don't.
Yeah.
Let's see what's happening over here.
He's getting a little bit delayed by these cannons, but
Yeah, but
overall he's gonna get through them.
Yeah. There's nothing stopping this guy.
He's supreme.
Nothing's gonna stop me now, supreme. God, it sounds like we practiced.
Yeah, no, that was good. But anyway, but I mean, like, I still have my one Nexus, and even though I don't see his other base, but I have his natural now. This is like a pretty close trade situation.
I don't think it's a close trade yet. Once you get in and successfully get his main out, which I am assuming you're going to do, then sure. But right now, this sucks for you.
Well, right now he's not even attacking into my base. I guess he's a little bit maybe is he loading up his overlords again? I don't know.
No, there's nothing. He needs to. I mean, he needs to.
He might be just. I think he's distracted by what's happening at his natural.
Yeah,
clear,
there's
obviously.
probably that moment of like, oh, I was doing good. Oh my God, maybe I'm not.